All right. Wow, that worked. And then I'll start the slideshow.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because putting it on Facebook right now, I don't know if it's going to work, and it was already starting to take a time. So,
Oh, okay. It's sharing.
finally, do you
Yeah.
have, okay,
It's sharing, but yeah, it started. Yeah, it started.
okay. Welcome to Raising Happy Kids Zoom Show, Episode 7, The Guardians, Harmony with Adults. During this 1 hour Zoom show, I focus on sharing tips and lessons on the one rule to raising happy kids. Each episode has at least one example of the one rule in action, demonstrating how it helps you raise a happy child. Then we have Q&A and discussion. When I talk about raising happy kids or creating harmony with kids, I bring up the one rule. The one rule equals agreement. Agreement equals harmony. Using the one rule means you find agreement. That's the rule. You find a solution that everyone likes. You've found agreement. You've found harmony. Knowing and following the one rule is all you really need to create harmony between you and your kids. In any situation where there are differences that might lead to conflict between you and your kids, use the one rule. I learned this strategy from 3-year-old children. I was teaching them a complex conflict resolution strategy, actually intended for adults, and they taught me this. So don't think you're in for a rough time. It's simple, it's easy, it's powerful and effective. It works if you use it. The story I'm about to tell you is a slightly different approach to finding harmony than I usually focus on. Today, the focus is on kids finding harmony with adults. We also look at a different aspect of the one rule. The one rule still helps them find harmony. Kathy, my mom wants me to come to the next parent-teacher-student association meeting and tell them about the idea for the fundraiser. She thinks it's a great idea, but wants me to explain it to everyone. I'm feeling very nervous. I'm not used to talking with groups of adults, said Jenny. You'll do great, Jen, said Pam. The girls had stopped by to talk with Kathy. She was their one rule coach, after all. And since she was an adult, they figured she'd have some helpful ideas. So Jenny could feel confident sharing the fundraiser idea with all those adults. Jenny's mom said there'd be at least 15 people, including parents and teachers. I'm especially worried about talking to teachers. I've been pretty lucky and had friendly teachers, but they're not all like that. I hope there are only friendly teachers and parents at the meeting, said Jenny. They were all sitting on the porch, Kathy, Timmy, Jenny, and Pam. This was not a regular meeting day when all the guardians would be there. Pam and Jenny were just walking Timmy home. They hoped it would be a good time to talk with Kathy. It was. Well, I certainly understand what you're talking about, Jenny. I sometimes have to deal with very rude people in the restaurant. I always remember the one rule, said Kathy. The one rule, said Pam? What does the one rule have to do with talking with rude adults? They are not going to even try to be agreeable. You might be right about that, but there is something you don't know about the one rule and about rude adults. I've never explained how we learn to use the one rule with 2-year-olds, said Kathy. 2-year-olds, interrupted Pam. I don't get it. Why do they have to do with grumpy adults? I'll explain, said Kathy, because they actually have a lot to do with each other. When we are using the one rule with 2-year-olds, we have to do most of the work. We have to try to agree with the 2-year-old, and if we can't, we have to help them choose something we like before the 2-year-old is determined to get or do something we don't want. Rude adults are kind of like 2-year-olds. We have to do most of the work, trying to agree with what they want. Just like 2-year-olds, they don't know how to even want to find agreement. We are the examples of the one rule in action to both of those groups, 2-year-olds and grumpy adults. I do get it, exclaimed Pam. They get to see how good it feels to have someone see their side of things and consider what they want is important. Oh, I get it. I get it too. I can just think of any grumpy adult as a 2-year-old who doesn't know better and be an example of a caring person to them, said Jenny. Yes, said Kathy. And the other thing is that probably when these adults were small, people did not treat them kindly. And that's why they developed the habit of being rude or whatever. Maybe using the one rule this way might help them feel better about life and other people. At least that's what's in my mind. When is your meeting, Jenny? I think it's next Thursday. At least that's when my mom thinks. She is going to find out for sure. Well, at our next guardians meeting, let's act out talking with adults, said Kathy. I was thinking the same thing, said Pam. Me too, said Jenny. We'll do it, said Kathy. I'll explain to everyone what I explained to you, and then we'll do our practice. It feels like building a bridge between people. It feels expansive. It's what Ken did when he reached out to Jeff and invited him to be a guardian, said Pam. Yes, said Jenny, and that has worked out great. I feel better already, and I'm sure I'll feel great by the time of the meeting. I'm sure you will, Jenny, said Kathy. You're an awesome coach, Kathy, said Pam. Well, we'd better go. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Timmy. A few days later, the guardians were all gathered at Kathy's and Timmy's. Jenny told them about her upcoming meeting with the PTSA. Everyone was very excited about this. Pam explained how they decided to talk with Kathy about creating harmony with adults, even rude, grumpy adults. Everyone agreed that this was a problem sometimes. Then Kathy explained what she had told Jenny and Pam and Timmy about using the one rule with 2-year-olds and rude adults. She also explained that they had decided that if everyone felt good about it, this day they would practice finding harmonious solutions when dealing with adults. She said she'd been thinking about this since they met a few days ago. She knows that we can all understand that adults who are not feeling happy and friendly are feeling bad inside of themselves. Some of these adults have been feeling bad for a long time. That's why they are rude or mean. Right, said Jeff. Everyone knew he spoke from experience. People who feel good inside, people who are happy, don't want to hurt other people in any way, said Kathy. So maybe we can be a bit of goodness in their lives if they come into our lives. It could make a good difference in their lives, maybe even a good big difference. The one rule can help us do that. So let's do this. Yes, shouted all the guardians. Then they partnered up and went to create their demos. Okay, guardians, who goes first? Asked Pam. I want to go first, said Jenny, since this is all because of me. Jeff is my partner. Maybe your need started this, but we all need it, said Kathy, even me. Our problem is a grumpy father who doesn't like the idea of the one rule for a fundraising event. He thinks they should have a carnival. Here's what we came up with. No way! We always have a carnival. Everyone loves it. I love the carnival too, said Jenny. Everyone has fun there, going to try their luck at the different booths and eating all the delicious carnival food. We can have a carnival, but I think we can have both. You're a crazy little girl. Do you know how much work is involved in having the carnival? No way we can do both. I know it takes lots of people, lots of work to do the carnival. This won't take very much work. We have the place. We can do it here at the school. There's almost no setup involved. Lots of the kids are interested, even some of the teachers and parents. It doesn't sound good to me. I understand that, but think of how much money we can raise with just a little work. Every student who participates is going to have their whole family come to see them, and friends and neighbors. All those people will buy tickets and goodies during intermission. We'll make a fortune. Kids love to act, to be on stage. They will only need one day to learn how to do this and to perform at night. We could even do a few of these, inviting kids and families from all over town. Kids from other schools already like the idea of the guardians. Well, the guardians is a good group of kids. I guess that is a good idea. You're right about making lots of money. Maybe we can use some of that for the carnival. Yes, that's a great idea. Then Jenny and Jeff took a bow and everyone clapped and hooted. Wow, said Kathy. Awesome use of the one rule for 2-year-olds. We'll have to think of a name for that version of the one rule. We want to go next, said Timmy, Elaine and I. Elaine is Jeff's younger sister and in the same class with Timmy. Here's our problem. Well, my problem. Talking with a mean, bossy teacher during lunch. Here's what we came up with. Elaine is the teacher. Timmy, get over here and sit down. You know you're not supposed to sit on that wall. Oh, Mrs. Jones, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Don't you lie to me, young man. No one is supposed to sit on that wall. I don't lie, Mrs. Jones. I just never sat on the wall before and it looked like fun. I'm sorry to have bothered you by doing that. Fun? Jeremy fell off that wall and cracked his head open. He was my student, and can you imagine they blame me for that? His mother, his father, his whole family. They've never stopped blaming me for that. So no one sits on that wall, ever. I don't ever want to catch you sitting on that wall again. Do you hear me? Yes, Mrs. Jones. I won't ever sit on that wall again. I'm glad you explained how dangerous it can be. Well, yes. I'm glad you understand. You can go and play now. I'm sorry I yelled at you. You go play. Tim and Elaine took their bow. Everyone clapped and hooted. Great demo, you two. She sure is mean. You were great with her, Timmy. I don't think I'll ever be afraid of her again, said Timmy. Me either, said Elaine. You both did a fantastic job, said Kathy. Come here, Timmy. She gave her son a big hug. I loved seeing how strong and wise you are. It's not easy to deal with such really rude and even mean people. I'm so glad that all of you are understanding how to use the one rule with grumpy adults. I'm glad you're not grumpy, Mom, said Timmy. Me too, said Kathy. Who next? I want to go next, said Ken. I have some good news, and because of that, I want to do something different. I want all of you who want to be my partners in this next demo. As you all know, I'm very involved in scouting. Well, I'm invited to speak at a scouting conference. I've been thinking that I'd like to suggest a new badge, the one rule. Wow, Ken. So I want to practice my presentation. This is just going to be the first time. I'll probably want to practice it lots of times. After everyone was settled, I have been invited here to present an idea for a new badge. Even Cub Scouts could start earning this badge. It could go all the way to Eagle Scouts. I learned about it by joining a club called the Guardians. We help keep kids from being bullied and from becoming bullies. I want to propose that we have scout badges for the one rule. Then Ken bowed. That's as far as I can go today. Everyone clapped and shouted. Great work, Ken. You go, Ken, our hero. Awesome, Ken, said Kathy. We'll definitely all work on this. So you're going to give a stellar proposal. Awesome idea. Guardians, I am so proud of all of you. On with the show. Who's next? Thanks for being here. Now it's time for Q&A and discussion.
Yes, very nice, Miss Karen. It went well. Thank
Good.
God. There was no interruption. Everything was fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and very nice sequence of the story going on. What do you think, Miss Karen, about how a person can uh, build self-esteem in a child?
Okay, let's see. I think that the most important thing, the child has to believe in themselves. So if if well, of course, using the one rule would help, because that would make sure that the adult doesn't come into opposition with the child. Um, because children, especially younger children, they are absorbing a lot of things from their environment. And so if they are constantly getting opposition, they're going to think something's wrong with them. And you can't have self-esteem if you're always thinking something's wrong with you. So so actually using the one rule, if that's kind of in place in the adults' minds, that they're going to find a harmonious solution to things, then it automatically will help the self-esteem develop and be strong in that child. Not only will they not be getting opposition, but they will be getting many chances to demonstrate their strengths, their knowledge, their abilities, their way of solving something harmoniously. And that will empower them to feel good about themselves also. So that's at least two things that can come out of using the one rule that will help build self-esteem. Now, you can probably help deliberately um, if you are observant of the child, and adults tend to be observant of children, but be observant of what their interests are, what they uh, basically what their interests are will be a good simple key, because what they're interested in, um, they're going to be able to put their full who they are into it. If they're so if they're interested in something and you help them go along following their interests, that is going to give much more self-esteem to them, because they will be putting their full self into something. They will be learning from it. They will be exploring it. They will be maybe developing new parts of it, finding new parts of it. Um, just all these activities that will help them feel good about themselves and their life, which is basically my feeling about what self-esteem is. Um,
Very nice. Right.
that's what comes to mind
Miss
at the
Karen,
moment.
yeah, I know it's very nice. It's very nice.
Okay.
Like I have always noticed that blocks, playing with blocks, plays a very important role in a
Okay.
child's, building mental activities and all. So, what will you say about it? Like playing with blocks and puzzles in the early years.
Oh, yes, that's very wonderful. Children love to do things like that. Um, and puzzles, um, I think they're both great activities. Um, I mean, they're both fun for the children. They're learning about things, about um, what goes with what, and puzzles. I mean, sometimes life is a puzzle. So to have
Yeah, true.
experience with puzzles, it's another way of figuring out little details that make a big difference. If you put a certain little thing with, you know, like this color here and that color there and this shape here, and and you find it, and then not only that with the puzzles, but there's such a feeling of delight and satisfaction when you find a piece of the puzzle, just like in life. And the building blocks would be, I would say, the same. In Montessori, they have different types of building blocks. They're from, uh, anyway, they're from, I think, a psychologist who worked with kids, and she just kind of took them on and had them in Montessori, and the kids really enjoy them. They're not the same as just like building blocks, like you can build uh, towers or towns or houses or whatever is in your mind. It's a way to get it out and put it together, or it's a way of making discoveries about this world and how things work in small ways that you can be in control of. And but it also applies to big ways, which are um, which are out there in life. Um, so I think they're both great activities, and not just for little kids. Uh, even um, at, I mean, it's great for little kids, but puzzles can be done for your whole life. And maybe people who are interested, well, like people who get into architecture, or people who get into uh, engineering of some sort, they can keep going on those kind of things their whole life. So, and it could just start with building blocks and puzzles. So,
Yeah, I was thinking the same because, and you have support my vision now. Actually, it should be a part of a curriculum in schools also,
ah,
building blocks, puzzles for
yes,
every age, right? And it's a good
right.
activity. It's a good mind activity even, that a child after studying all the time feels, you know, good. They can be teamwork. They can learn cooperative learning with this. It should be a part of a curriculum.
That's a great
We
idea.
because if it's part of the curriculum, the children will enjoy. There should be different types of mysteries and puzzles and all these things to build
Yes,
critical thinking in children.
yes, yes, definitely.
It
That
should be
sounds good.
the time has come now that education should change. They should change the system. They should change the style, because children, they love playing games and video games and all these types of things. To, you know, get their focus back to studies, these types of good activities will boost them. They will enjoy. They will be waiting for this lesson. Puzzles can be in any topic. It can be related to worlds, history, it can be related to sciences. The
Yes,
mode of teaching should change now. The mode of teaching
that
should
sounds
be
good.
more it should be more interactive, that even the children should enjoy. Make up the body parts, you know, make up the man properly. put the digestive
Right.
system correctly, different activities, because this is the way they learn themselves. They will enjoy.
Yes,
I,
I
I
agree.
think it should be a part of a curriculum. I have no idea which schools are taking this, but this came in my mind that it
Yes,
should be a part of the curriculum.
yes. And I was just thinking, as you said that, I was thinking that if you look into this, I'll bet you'll find some of it in different places already, and then can just take it on board yourself, you know?
True, very true. There are many things in the market. One has to do a little survey and get them together. But it's a good way of teaching, even a good method, because I have noticed that in, like you said, that blocks and puzzles are of every age. It can be vary. A person can go to architecture. A person can go. So from the very beginning, there should be these types of activities so that they
Yes,
understand this,
right. I was just thinking
because
of
too
the,
much.
yeah, go ahead.
No, no, miss, you go ahead.
I was just thinking of the, like, architects, they build models of whatever it is, not, maybe not all the time, I don't know about that, but I have seen them, models of what they're going to make. And
Yes,
so
yes,
as students get more advanced, they could do that kind of thing, like make a little model city, or make a model of something like that, and maybe have it like the building block thing. So it's an you can do something in one session of working with it, whereas can actual models can take a long time. Um, anyway, it was just a thought
yes,
that,
because Legos are also here. Legos also kids enjoy. They build
oh,
Legos. They
yes,
play with Legos. So,
yes,
so
yes,
Lego works, and
exactly.
there's proper applications are related with it. So, if they merge these type of good activities as a part of the school curriculum,
Yes, yes, it would be very useful, I think. And I'll bet you could
yes,
get some
because
good
now,
ideas from kids.
yes, they are very smart, and they will take interest in these activities,
Yes,
because the thing is, every time the child gets bored if the lesson is not interesting, and he just needs to learn. So it's I what I believe is that's not educating a child.
right. No,
Education is
they
something.
get resistant if they get bored. They
Exactly,
put up a block to it.
exactly,
No, it it if it's
exactly.
something
That's
valuable,
true.
huh?
That's true. I do agree. They put a block. That's very
Yeah,
nice statement you said. They
yeah,
put a block towards it.
yeah. I think this is great thinking. I think, um, well, one of the things that I think
Because
can
I was
one of the things I think
yes,
can help in this is the whole concept, which is sort of the foundation of the Montessori, the way it developed, and that is that the student is the center of their education. Each student is the center of their education, and what they do and how they spend their time comes out of what they are motivated for. It doesn't mean that there aren't these activities out there. It's good if they're out there so they can choose to do, oh, I'm going to do this now. Or the teacher, like, okay, I'm going to give a demonstration of this new thing that we have, or this thing that you might not have seen yet. Would you like to join? And so that way, it's the student is moment by moment moving from their interest into what is going to help them develop and expand. Um, and one of the things that's come out of this is kids who are very clear about what's important to them. They know how to go after it and feel good self-esteem about going after what they want. And they know how to keep going on something um, if it's still something they want, to keep going on that and eventually succeed, sometimes sooner, sometimes later, but as long as the momentum of the interest is there, um, that's the kind of person that comes out. And I think that's a really valuable person, uh, no matter what it is, you know, even if it's, well, even, I was going to say even if it's a person who just loves to be a loving, joyful person in the world. But that's a really, really great and high thing. Um, so it was interesting to me that I said even, because it's not always valued as valuable as I think it is. So
Because I have noticed that in many schools, in fact, I will say 98% of the schools or education system in Montessori and early years, like play area and all, they focus on a lot of physical learning and sense building activities and all. But once the children come in advanced level, they stop this and start, giving more of theoretical work, writing works, and all these things. But
right.
children are children. I think the mode should be changed. They should not stop
Yes,
this,
right. I
because this
agree.
is a proof that in early years, they are learning a lot. They know about senses, they know about things, and once you write this thing in the theory form, it becomes a little boring for them.
Yes, yes.
Because you have university level and higher grade levels for writing time, but till middle year or primary care, I believe students should be more involved in these activities,
Right.
that they should love to come to school, they should love to study,
Yes, yes.
and they should be given a chance, like, okay, you can't understand with the book, come on, do a practical method, let's do
Right.
like this. Like you said, the
Yes.
story that the child was making up a picture and the teacher, like, he got scared, the teacher did not accept it. So that was the same thing, that your
Right.
the purpose of the educator is to teach the topic.
Right.
So how to teach the topic, that is something, it should be built in an interesting way.
Yes.
Sometimes when you speak about antique things, museum, they just feel bored. But when you take them over there, when they witness things, they enjoy
Yes.
and they remember. They
Yes.
remember that this happens. Oh, okay, these are the remains of the World War I. Okay, this happened. You know,
Right.
just simply telling them, learning them, but all the time giving work on IT related also is not good, because too much screening is also not good for the kids.
Right.
They need to
Exactly.
use all their senses.
Yes. You know, I
They
was
need to
just
use it. They need to. Yes.
I was just thinking that even for children um, that are still at home, um, that are doing homeschooling and they have it set up, and like you were saying, they have to be on screen for all this time. Maybe the teachers could uh, give set up lessons that for the parents, um, if you know if they can do this, and I'm sure it can be done somehow, where they they have them do like you're saying, go to the museum, or um, do some activity instead of just sitting and being on Zoom.
Yes, involving the kids, because
Yes,
they enjoy playing with things. Toys. Toys are a very important part of their learning. We call
right,
it toys, but basically it's a kind of a tool, a
right.
learning tool.
Yes, very nicely said. Yes,
It's a kind, because in the time when people started inventing things, that was a kind of a tool. They started using it. What they made an arrow, they made a spade, they made whatever things. Then later on, it took advanced spaces. But all these things basically are tools to make them learn things, to help them understand.
right, right,
Toys plays a very important role in the growing and the development of the children. Like, parents should think before what toy they are buying for the child. It's not all the time that if a thing is speaking and giving music and poems and all these things, it's good. No, sometimes a silent toy also works. Let the
right.
child be curious enough to understand. Even
Yeah,
a pebble can act as a toy. Give it to
that's
the child.
right.
Let him create his own imagination. Let
Yes,
him build his own house, castle, whatever. It's all
yeah.
natural things. It's very important playing toys. I would like you to just do a session for toys also in future, like how important they are. And
Ah,
I know you can do it,
oh my.
because you know how you would have dealt in the early years also with the children, and you know better because you have
Yes,
worked for a longer time with them.
yes. One thing that I was thinking, which could really be done in any home, I think I did something on this. Um, the children love the daily activities that they see going
Yes,
on around them, and for younger children, you can start with just elements of those activities, like how to carry something, how to hold it, how to offer it to somebody, like offer a guest some water, or um, uh, we even had outside, we had a tool bench where we had small um, small hammers, small saws, and vices, so the kids could get there. There was always wood there, so that they could work on sawing or hammering. Um, they really like getting a chance to do these kind of activities, and for older kids, even more complex activities can be shown. They can, like show how to prepare um, a whole dish, or even a whole meal, um, or different activities around the home is something that parents could do with their kids to make sure that they know these things. And not only that, but the kids, um, especially for the younger ones, it's essential for their development that they have these kinds of activities to focus on and to master. Um, it's something that's a very compelling interest to them. So
yes, very
that can
true.
be
Because
included. in with the
Yes,
toys, because the
exactly.
toys count
Because in
too.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, they are
they
really
do.
very important.
Yeah. We
And
used, yeah, go
I
ahead.
believe if mothers and I believe if mothers or parents from the early years play with their children, involve themselves with the children in learning, so they, there will there will be less need for sending them to schools in early age. Mothers can teach
Ah,
them a lot.
right,
Mothers can, spend a lot of time with the children, because the whole life the children are studying later on, like, but still the
right,
more time the mom, because the more the mom knows the child, no one knows. She knows the best her child.
right,
So if she
right.
involves herself in learning, I believe there should be not only early years only the children, there should be more and more activities for mothers also to come and involve themselves with the children, so they also
Yeah,
learn the value that when you're giving them this thing, for example, even if you're showing a flower, so they're smelling it, they're enhancing the sense of smelling. Teach them to give them different types of flowers, tell them to smell and just check how do you feel. They have different smell. Some things I think in early years mothers should also be a part
yes,
in
that's
learning. It will be
nice.
a
Yes,
great help for the teachers even.
right, right. And for the children and for the
True.
mothers. So everybody gets more goodness out of it.
Yes, and they will also appreciate the efforts done by the teachers. They
Right,
be getting more little bit time, at least once a week, or I believe twice a month, or whatever time. There should be some certain activities, certain games in which the teachers can play with the mothers and get to know how much they know their child, how much the child
nice.
knows the mom. For
Right.
example, there should be different fruit and tell the child to pick the fruit and give it to your mom. Let's see which fruit the child picks.
Huh.
Similarly, there should be different toys and ask the mom to pick the toy for your child. Let's see what toy
Right.
the mom picks.
Nice. Yeah.
And if you find it, then you can just tell them to see how your bonding is working together.
Right.
And if there's any problem also, that can also be easily cured. If child likes something else, then the teachers can explain that your child likes more dark colors, not light colors. So buy him more dark, then the mom will get to know the choice.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. It sounds good.
Just came in my mind right now when I talk to you. I don't know how, from nowhere things comes in my mind. So many things
Ah,
keeps on coming and I keeps on sharing with you. It's like
nice.
I'm getting a lot of energy, to just tell
Good.
you, and things comes in my mind and
I'm
I'll share with
glad.
you.
I'm very glad.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like your picture today.
Really, thank you.
A happiness and laughing, which are enjoyable. Very nice. That's true too.
Whenever I see something nice, I like to share to the world.
Ah,
I'll just
good.
like to, send a message anyhow, keeping his a
Nice.
profile picture or anything, just a message should reach to the world.
Very nice. Very nice. Huh.
It was a nice session. Thank you so much, Miss Karen.
Yes, thank you. I will take inspiration from that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Most welcome.
Huh. Okay. Well, see you soon.
Yeah, see you on Saturday. I'll send you the
Oh,
invitation by
okay.
tomorrow. We are
All
working on
right.
it. Okay. I'll share a small video I made just for fun. I'll share it with you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Bye
Enjoy.
bye. Take care.
Bye bye. You too.
You too. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.